Hello viewers, welcome to CodeForAny. Product Markets Apps Insight. Today we need to call this here the admin side, the new order list. We need to get here and we need to show here the all data. First of all, we need to call this here the API and we need to set this here related to all data to put here. Now we need to write down here slash to do and we need to write down here API calling. Now we need to create here the void API calling order list, like we need to write down here. Now we need to call this here the globes, dots need to call this here the show HUD, and we need to call this here the service called dot post methods. Dots need to pass this here the parameters. Now we need to pass here the blank parameters and we need to give this here the path. Semicolon here, so need to write down here sv key dots need to go definitions and we need to write down here the API name for the admin. Need to use here any copy here and you need to write down here the new order and we need to set this here the API names admin slash new order list. Like we need to set this API names and need to call this API inside here the new order list here, and we need to this API tokens we need to set here the true, and then after we need to set here the errors result, not error result, with success block. Here the response object since methods need to calls it here backends, and here's failure block. We need to get here the error since action need to call here. After we need to get any response, so need to close this here the HUD. You need to write down here calls hide HUD same as fail. Like need to paste this here and also need to show this here the error message. Need to use this here the MD alert show. Maybe we need to not get any list. Now need to go upper list and we need to copy this value, paste here errors, replace here and import this here the common extensions. Need to write down here and we need to get here the list array new order list, set here the blank array, copy here and we need to in its methods need to call here, set here the call API calls order list and we need to pass here this value new order list dot length, like this, and we need to check here if conditions response object, check here the key dot status equal to, need to set here the one means success else part, so need to else, and we need to show this here the message response object. Here's the key dot message to string, need to error message need to showing here. Now we need to new order list gets here the array is equal to call this here the response object key dot payload as need to get this here the list optionals flags need to call here and need to check here the if mounted and need to call this here the set state. Now we need to save here this and need to apply here. Now need to get here the all data related to new orders, need to write down here the where object is equal to new order list index of value as need to get this here the map optionals like here's need to set here's. Now need to go inside here the upper and we need to find out here the any network image items and item list screens. Need to go admin item row, need to copy this list and we need to go inside here the new order list and we need to replace this code here. Paste this here, so import this here the networks, set here the image, we need to give this here the item image, we need to set here, then after copy this here, change this value and clean here. Now item name we need to show here item underscore name. Then after we need to status purchase dates need to set here and quantity also need to set here. Object dot set here pty and like this we need to set here the unit quantity unit underscore name. Remove here these all things here, set here and we need to getting this here the status and colors, we need to write down here the action, another write down here to do action, need to get here the string get status name, this here the map object here, set here the switch statements, set here the objects and we need to pass this here the status, managing this here the things related to this order item status we need to needs here and we need to managing this here the everything related to this status, to set here the order status key name and to string set value and we need to call this here the return functions double quote semicolons. If you get here the defaults means here the new orders. Like we need to configurations. We need to copy here and we need to replace with this data here. Call here and you need to pass this here object. Save here. And one more things, if here new order list length maybe set here is empty, that's why I need to call this here the center and set here the child's inside the text. No new order. Set here the styles, text styles. Set here color, T color, placeholders, font size. We need to set this here the 22. Font weight 700. Like this, we need to call here for no data, no new orders. Like so, we need to showing here. Now we need to set here related to times. Need to go any extensions. Need to using this here the managings get here the times display times. So need to call here the display date. Need to here go new order list and some formats need to show here. Need to call this here the double quotes. Here the brackets maybe to write down here object dot key not key. Use here the created date. To string and you need to call this here the display date. Set here the display format. Set here the D and set here the space mm 3 time m and need to set here the y and set here the times. You need to order times h small and m. Like you need to configurations are the needs here showing the time or relate to these orders and need to manage this here the status. Need to open this here the database and we need to find out here the related to order status. Need to managing this here for the structures. This is orders are the need to status. Need to managing this here new orders for 0. Once means order accepted, 2 means here the waiting for delivery, 3 means here the out of delivery, fourth means here the delivers, fifth means here the user cancel these orders, 6 means here the delivery boy the cancel these orders, 7 means here the this order are the rejected by the shop owners. Like we need to managing here the 7 states we need to manage here for this data. Now need to one by one, so we need to first one, so need to set here this every state. Need to put here one by one and we also need to returning these here the colors and last one need to remove here the repeateds. Now first ones we need to set here the new orders already set here the returns for the new orders. Once means here the order are accepted, 2 means here the waiting for delivery, output delivery, deliver, hips means here the cancel order, user cancel, 6 means here the delivery boy cancel and 7 means here the reject. Like here managing this here the status. Now this is the status wise we need to managing this here the colors. Need to get here the status color and we need to return this here the color like here's color property need to get here. If here the accepted, so need to set here the color greens. If here the new orders, then need to give this here the color blue. Now waiting for delivery means here so need to set here color orange. Out for delivery means you need to maybe set here the yellow and umber, and here set here the orange. If here delivers means set here the done colors, we need to put here set here color green. Maybe we need to change this here blue currents. If here cancels, set here color red. Every place other remaining place need to set here the red color. And save this here. Now need to set this here the color status here. Get status colors. Pass this here the objects, and we need to save here. Now we need to restart this app, and we need to calling here the API calls for the new orders. Need to get here several internal errors. We need to first of all stop fix this here the errors inside the Node.js. We need to get here the cart tables. We need which means this here the names. We need to fix this here the cart detail tables. Now restart this app, and again run here. Open here the new orders. Again we need to get this here the unknown columns. We need to get this here the item underscore id. Maybe here the issue we need to check here. Fruit markets, and this issue ODI order item. Maybe these steps are each match. Need to fix tiers. Again restart this app, and gets again these errors. Need to get this here the order ID dot ID. Need to fix here. And now need to get this here related to order information. So need to get CS. If you like this video, please give the thumbs up. If you're new user, so please subscribe my channels and press the notification bell icon. You can get every new video notifications and awesome content. If you have any question, so please write down the comment section, so I will help you and sort out your issue. Everyone have a nice day. Goodbye and take care.